Hey guys, you're riding with Marshall, and you've guessed it because I probably put it in the title, but we are about to do, for the first time for me, after riding 500 miles to get here, I'm about to go tackle Beartooth Pass. Because I'm stupid, I didn't bring my adventure bike, I brought the Rocket 3. Wish me luck.
Beartooth Pass is open per day.
So I left my home in Colorado late in the morning, around 8 a.m. Well, that's late for me. I was undecided up until that point whether to take the Moto Guzzi V85 TT with its 6-gallon tank, or the more powerful Rocket 3, but it only has a 4.5-gallon tank and really wide tires. Did I even want to commit to this trek at all, since Colorado weather had been raining on and off for several days straight, and peak temperatures rarely exceed 60 degrees lately? My motto, though, is make a plan and make it happen, even at the last minute. So without a single sit-down meal, I rode to Red Lodge, Montana as a good little Google Maps slave. I could have taken Chief Joseph Scenic Byway, but Google Maps was showing me the fastest way to get to Red Lodge, so I could ride the Beartooth Highway all the way from Red Lodge to Cook City, and do it all in one day. There is something I wish I would have known about Cook City, but stay tuned for that part. I have a Madstad tall windshield on the Rocket 3, but it mostly does a great job of throwing all the air into my helmet. It's not tall enough, and I'm not even a tall man. I'm always pulling over to wipe a bug off my face shield.
No view. Oh, there is a view. It's right here. Alright. Got a little bit of a view here. I need a photo. Of that.
Other than the wind on my helmet giving me a sore neck, my only other concern was the small fuel range of the newer Rocket 3s. At non-interstate speeds, I can get about 170 miles to the tank if I'm lucky. At 80 miles per hour, the standard speed limit on I-25 through Wyoming, I might get less than 140 miles, especially if I'm fighting the Wyoming wind all day. I fueled up in Douglas, but didn't stop in Casper to top off before heading to Shoshone. Other than some antique gas pumps of unknown fuel quality in a place called Highland, I saw no other gas in 148 miles. I pulled into Shoshone on fumes. I had no other drama getting to Red Lodge, Montana, though. Beartooth Highway is shared with the Wyoming-Montana border at a section of U.S. Route 212. It usually opens in mid-May and closes in mid-October due to snow. The highest point is Beartooth Pass at 10,947 feet, or for you European people, 3,337 meters. To say you have seen the whole of Beartooth Highway means that you have taken it from Red Lodge, Montana to Cook City, or the other way around. It is 68.7 miles from end to end and offers absolutely stunning views in all directions. An interesting side note is that neither the Wyoming or Montana Department of Transportation maintains the road. Instead, the National Park Service foots the bill, even though it is not in a national park. There is no fee to get in. From what I see, they do a pretty good job. The road rises to the summit by climbing 5,200 feet in 12 miles, using zigzags and switchbacks. The history of the road goes back to the Civil War. In August of 1872, when General Philip Sheridan and his 120 men took the advice from an old hunter named Shuki Greer. The hunter told the general that he could save a lot of time by returning from Yellowstone to Billings over the pass, instead of going around the mountains. He accomplished the journey successfully, and in 1936, his path was recognized as the Beartooth Highway. The road is completely doable by car, but a bike is even more fun, as you feel the differences in temperature that can change with every breeze. I think the best times to do nearly anything travel-related are outside the hours of human and Mother Nature's prime hours of energy. So either near sunrise or sunset. Of the two, sunset will be much warmer than sunrise. If the road cools below freezing overnight, there may be ice patches as you ride it in the early morning. Why not go at mid-morning or mid-afternoon? Well, the wind picks up in the afternoon. Storms build up in the afternoon. Cars, trucks, and RVs may fill the road from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know this from riding other passes. I prefer not to be behind vehicles riding their brakes or abruptly stopping for a photo. Let me do that on my bike. Other cars are a worse threat to my riding enjoyment than what nature might throw at me. I'll accept the risks of wildlife at dusk and dawn over the pollution of stop-and-go traffic. That brings me to my next day adventure, riding through some of Yellowstone, my hope once again to see Old Faithful. Subscribe if you want to see that part. I'll bet it will involve both stop-and-go traffic and wildlife. So how does the Rocket 3 handle these twisty, windy mountain roads? Especially with a rear tire that is larger than a Subaru Forester tire, and an engine that is about the same size as a Subaru Forester engine. Well, it actually handles it rather well, and for a number of reasons. First through third gear are pretty restricted by the computer. Fourth through fifth might launch you off the side of the mountain with the smallest twist of throttle. So I just stay up to third gear. I can do 50, 55 in third gear, so it's not an issue. The steering of said wide tires will have the bike wallowing a little around the road, a little more than bikes with smaller tires would do. And the lock-to-lock of a Rocket 3 in the steering head is not very 90-degree-ish. Making U-turns is a bit of a challenge and takes both lanes, where other bikes you can really whip them around in a single car lane. So keep those things in mind, control your speed, and a Rocket 3 will do just fine, especially with its Brembo brakes. Well, the Brembo front brake. The Brembo rear brake on a Rocket 3 is something for another upcoming video. But anyway, the roads here on Beartooth Highway are designed well, and almost any vehicle, I think, can make this highway drive. So how about we just put on a little music and let you ride along for a minute and enjoy some of this without any more of my jibber-jabbering for a bit. How about some AC/DC? No, not AC/DC. How about some smooth jazz? Well, maybe smooth jazz. Freeform jazz? No, hell no, not freeform jazz. Well, how about this?
rain mode. Might not be a bad idea. We're just going to pull over right here for a little second. And mode. And rain mode. Select. Alright. Check this out. Easy. Ugh. Need another photo. So I will stop the camera because sooner or later I'm going to run out of SD card. And that will be a bad thing. And there you go, Beartooth Pass summit, 10,947 feet. And what does that mean? Another picture. Talk about your quiet places. At this time of night, it's all mine. Well, not quite a 14er, but I'll take it. Has a ton more snow than Cameron Pass in Colorado, that's for darn sure. And down we go. To Cook City. because I can't activate my phone with these gloves on to pull up the map. We'll just coast through this here. Coast to coast to coast. Great. My visor just locked up. I am throwing this helmet away when we get back. Now I gotta ride with my sun blades down. Let's not, because it's cold. I gotta fix my helmet. Drama. I start heading down the hill and my plastic clear face visor locks up. Won't come down. I tell you what. Still beautiful though. We're heading down fast, so I'll get out of the rain and the cold.
Something you need to know about Beartooth Highway, Cook City, and probably all of Yellowstone. If you hope to use T-Mobile service to book a room for the night, forget it. Ask me how I know, or better still, just keep watching. Although make a plan, make it happen is my motto, in my haste I had not anticipated the vast time it takes to ride from one town to the next, or that I would be out of time if I arrived in Cook City just before 9 p.m.
Oh my gosh. That is pretty, isn't it? Oh. Alright, need a photo. Need a photo. And in the waning light, don't have much light left, Beartooth Falls.
Well, it's morning. It is the morning after I rode Beartooth Pass. Turned out to be 551 miles, and I never sat down for a meal. I stopped at gas stations and I got bottled tea and granola, and at one point there was a little bowl of potato salad. But I was in a hurry because that was 9 hours of riding, probably the most I've ever done Although some of my Sturgis rides have turned into the same thing. I am in this little town called, for those of you who have ridden Beartooth Pass. For those of you who have ridden Beartooth Pass, you probably know this town is Cook City. I do have a warning and a story of glory. The warning is, get here before 9, like a lot before 9, and in fact you should book your hotel rooms on the internet, because there's probably 4 places to stay here, and they were all booked last night. So I did not book a room last night. What happened was, though, I was traveling, as I was doing Beartooth Pass, there was a van of Amish people. And we kept running into each other at the pull-offs and kind of made some friends. Anyway, when I got down here, I told them I had no place to stay. I was going to go to Cody or find somewhere. God will provide. Well, he did, because a few minutes later, one of them ran up to me with a room key, said that they were going to bunk up together, and they gave me their room. So they had many rooms, or a couple anyway. And all the boys in one room, the girls in another, their driver in a third, and I got my own room here at that place. I did try to get the message out to them that I had a spare bed. I would share the room, but it didn't make it to them. So, anyway, I didn't even pay for a hotel room last night. But the alternative was riding in the dark, loud truck as always. The alternative was going to be riding in the dark all the way back to Cody in the hopes that Cody would have a room by the 10:30 that I'd probably get there by. So today, I don't know, I had a blast. I will share all my photos from Beartooth Pass. I had it mostly to myself with the occasional pull-off. And yeah, today I think we're doing Yellowstone. Thanks for watching Riding with Marshall.